Hey, Will, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello? You got me?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, welcome to Monday's Lunch and Learn. If you guys have any questions, do let me know. You can use raise hand, ask in chat, or ask in the Q&A section. We have one pre-submitted question. I'll wait for that user to show up if they do join before trying to answer. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions today. No, uh, you can always use raise hand, ask in chat, or ask in Q&A, whatever's easiest. Okay, got a question from Sylvia. Yeah, is it possible to rename the defined data structure names once created and update its dependencies? Unfortunately, you can't rename a type. You can rename properties on the type, but not the type itself. Sylvia. So if you want to ask any other questions about that, feel free to come off mute and ask. But no, a data type is one of the few things you cannot rename once created. Its namespace and type name are set in stone right now in the application. The only way to fix that would be to create your new data type and then remap your flows as appropriate. There, there is an action called Copy Designer folder that can help you get some of this done. If you were to go to a designer folder, right click, there is a manage copy designer project. And in here, if there's types, let me see here really quick. Let me find one of my lunch and learns that has, there we go. If I do manage copy designer project, now what it's going to do is show me the types here, at which point I can change these type names from something, from this to something else. Now, it won't necessarily, it's not going to go through and find everything, but it can help sort of be like a bit of a head start. Like there's some places like that it doesn't function. It doesn't do like report designer. It won't switch out the report data sources, but it will find places in flows and try to swap those out for you. So if you needed to, you can use this as a starting point. Um, but no, there's no way to easily rename types in the product today. Is there packaging possible to package rules and types used for a particular API or project? Not sure I understand the question exactly. You can use project association to do these types of things. You can create projects with these things and then deploy those as those projects to production. You can manage the project relationships as you see fit, either very large projects with lots of content or small projects individually. I think the concept you're looking for is projects. So you can see here on the right hand side, you'll be able to see the project association. So if you want to create discrete little bits of content that are deliverable discretely, then you want to add those, you want to create those as individual items in a project. And if you were to create those, let's give ourselves a place to work here. And you create a flow. Right. And then you can go ahead and add this to a project. You could come to import export. You can do export. And the first thing you do get shown here would be to a project name. You could call this rule project 1. And then you can find the project. It's going to ask you if you want to include flow 1 because it found it in the folder. You can export that. And now you'll see that project 1, rule project 1 is shown here. So now I can then create these things. And when I export a project now, I can say export project with its dependencies, and it's going to give me a zip file of the contents that I can use to deploy that to a higher level environment. The same general pattern applies using the repository here as well. Right. Nancy's got a question here. Let you speak if you want to add anything extra. Nancy, I have a page in a case entity configuration folder. On the page, I have several folder-aware flow run parts to show information using several different forms. I have to determine what the person who is accessing the page can see on each of the forms based results from a flow. While I can do it individually for each form, is there a way that I can run that flow once for the page and use results within all the forms? Not sure I understand exactly your last question there. You there, Nancy? Or there's something wrong with our audio today. I have several folder-aware flow run parts to show information. Okay. I have to determine what the person who's accessing the page can see on each of the forms. And each of the forms based results from a flow. Well, I can do it individually. Is there a way to run that flow once for the page and use results within all the forms? Hey, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can, yeah.
Okay. All right, sweet. Okay, yeah. So I have a page and I have three forms on it, 3 flow run parts to show what I need to show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And instead of running the same flow within each page to determine what the person who's signed in can see, is there a way I can run that flow once for the page and results of that in each of my forms?
Not really.
Okay.
Are you getting slowness on load? Is it like simplifying? You're looking to try to simplify the design?
Simplify the design, but also account for there's going to be a lot of cases and people logging in and connecting to it. So I'm just trying to heads up of how can I streamline and get
It's the same information on each form, just shown that you have to fetch the same information multiple times.
Yes, and I would change my design if I've got to do that, so if there was a way that I could somehow have that information on the page and use information that's on the page, like even if it's hidden on the page, to use If I can't, that's okay, but I haven't, I'll design with that in mind.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any way, there's no way to pass data to the flow run parts directly.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Okay.
Some of the
Other than
things
what's
we've
in the
done,
flow. Right.
right? Like you can cache things so that you don't have to run it every single time. So you can use like step level caching.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
that means so you don't have to hit the database every time to fetch the same information. You can use subflows to kind of bundle some of the similar fetches up, so you don't
Mhm.
have to add multiple steps repeatedly to flows. You can just do that work in a subflow, um, and cache that
Mhm.
subflow, so you don't have to hit the database every time. Um,
Okay. Okay. All right.
you can also use like I don't know, you're using folder aware flows that, and so you're using like the folder context to figure out like what information to pull, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is fun. That's a good way to do that. Yeah, I don't think there's any way for you to like declare inputs on the flow run parts or something and then pass that data to them on load.
Okay. Okay. I can. I'll work with that. It's worth
Yeah, I don't
asking.
think. Yeah, yeah, I don't think so. Nope, you'd have to do it at the flow level individually.
Okay. I did have a second question. I don't know if I can ask
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Please, there's
I
no
just
other
posted
questions.
it. I just posted it
Oh,
here.
in a
Um,
form I'm showing it. In a form I am showing an advanced data grid. I'm currently doing a fetch results and setting control value. I'd rather have the underlying report used in the advanced data grid use a filter criteria that I supply, but I would also need that to update if there are changes to the data made in the source report. Can I do that? Setting control value. Okay. I think you can put filters on. Can you add filters to an advanced data grids report data source?
I can. I can. I mean, well, yeah, because it's a report, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the answer to that is yes. But I haven't quite figured out how to from I haven't quite figured out how to pass that to get it because it's asking it from another report. So I'm missing some, I'm not connecting the dots there.
Hmm. Let's go ahead and just see if we can. Let's create an example here. I'm not sure I follow exactly, but my brain's a bit fuzzy this Monday morning, so I'm sure it's my fault. So form. Let's delete this and we'll find our data grid. We'll put an advanced data grid. But I just searched for it. It's irritating. Data grid advanced. Okay. And we'll go here and set this to type account. All right, input is account data. And we'll do info only, sure, and we'll edit this. So this is an account type. So if I want to show this, well, let me put a button on this first. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Great. So save this. So now I need to fetch accounts. Any results? Okay. All right, so, oh, well, I didn't add any columns. Let me add some columns to my form. Here's my form. Let me edit my report definition. Let me add my email address and some other date here.
Can I on here, so where it's filters, can I
Hmm.
can I set the filter here?
I think so. So if we add email, well, I should get, if I want to add an email address, starts with, do A. And let's see here, if I save this and then I come back to my flow and I debug this. Okay, yeah, so if I look at the input to my form, it should be everything. Yeah, there's 6 accounts. And then if I only look at my form,
And then, sorry,
go ahead.
so in there you had said it sets to A. Can I do it to where, obviously I'm not gonna have it hard coded, right? So I want to pass a parameter.
To do the filtering?
Yes.
Uh, fair question. I don't know the answer to that. Let's see here. So if I edit this and I make this runtime editable, does it show as an input on my form? No change there. No change there. Hmm. Yeah, I guess not. Unless there's some way to trick it. Title doesn't show me any new inputs here. I don't think so. No, it doesn't look like you can. You want to pass a value to filter it into the form?
Yeah, because otherwise I have to pass it into the fetch entities
Mm-hmm.
and do it. So is there a way you can trick it that you can think of?
Well, we could, let's see.
Because I have to do a number of them. So like,
Right. So let's create an active form flow. And let's use this. So we're going to fetch accounts. Right. And then we're going to use like probably something similar to yours, which is set value.
yeah,
Right. And then we'll pass results here. We'll set value. All right. Set control value. We'll select our advanced data grid. Yeah. And our count data we'll set to entity results. So then what I should be able to do is define some input data here. Ooh, I always forget we moved this somewhere. Yeah, form input data. All right, so then let me come here and I'm going to declare. Oh God, what's wrong? What I'm going to do is declare some input data to my form. So this would be called I'm going to define it. I'll call it filter string. Okay. And then let me edit my form, my active form flow here. And I'm going to say email address equals. I'm going to pass in, I should be able to select now my form input data filter string. Okay. Let me edit this and remove the filter.
yeah, that's how
Okay.
I'm kind of doing it today.
Is it not working?
No, it's working. I'm just, I was trying to use the filter in the report.
It doesn't look like it gives you the ability to pull that, unfortunately. But filter string. So now I can do admin. Okay. It doesn't like my active form flow. Account data. Why is it not setting this? Oh, I didn't run it at startup. Try that again. Okay, so that works. And I'm having to do it in the active form flow, which I guess is not great. Yeah, I don't think we have a concept of giving you the runtime filters as inputs on the parent form holding the advanced data grid. Not seems kind of reasonable to assume that we would give you that, but it doesn't look like we do. But if you can declare the form input data and get something similar using an active form flow. Is there a second part to your question? Something that this is not capturing what or not doing well enough for you?
I'm just thinking that if I could, I'm just trying to figure out how I could do the with the filter. I feel like the filter would be a better solution if I can get that to work.
Hmm. Do you need this on a form? Can you use a report for this?
No, I need it on a form. I definitely need it on a form. I mean, I think I have another one where I kind of, I'm just thinking outside the box. Could I create a report? Could I kind of finagle creating a report on the form? And then with that report, share those values?
I mean, the advanced data grid is the report concept on a form.
Okay.
There's not like another one.
Okay.
But like you can pull like if you're on a case page, you can, you know, there's folder aware like reports
Okay.
that you can use. A lot of times you find if you're when you're using forms to do viewing of data in a grid, it's not uncommon to need a bunch of capabilities that come out of the kind of come for free
Mm-hmm.
with a report that you have to kind of add a
Uh-huh.
bunch of handling for
Okay.
when using advanced data grid.
Can I do the folder aware report? Can I put that on a form?
No,
All right.
unfortunately not.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm doing those right now. So, okay. Those are my questions for today.
Okay. Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you for the questions. All right. What else? Anybody else have anything for us today? All right. Looks like the crowd is the waiting room is emptying out a bit. Sort of last call for questions here today. You got Jared the next 2 days and then Dylan on Thursday, following up the rest of this week. Alrighty, I think we'll call it a day. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Talk to you next week.